And now it's time to play. Whose ear is that? Fucking shit, that thing's huge. You can put like 25 BBs up in that bitch. So yeah, we back from that nutrageous nicotine break sponsor.
That was that fight y'all heard. That was fucking too much built up nicotine, too much nutrageous. What I like to do is chop it up a little and put it on the nutrageous and then put more nutrageous on it.
It can turn friends into enemies.
Hey, I got a problem. I admitted it, but we still sponsor them, so.
And enemies into friends.
I mean, it's driving a wedge between us, but.
And we're back. So what I wanted to say is going through these, all these archetypes that people encounter, the machine elves, right? Every single experience you look up, unless they're in some stupid cahoots where they're lying to everyone, being stupid about their DMT experience, it's machine elves, and they're building all this stuff and constructing it in front of you, right? But the thing is, a lot of different ones, they say that the machine elves, they're able to make these big, massive structures and stuff, but it's through sound. It's through sound and frequency, that every single thing has a frequency.
But see that, okay.
And then they say once you hit that frequency, it's almost like they were able to move it through hitting the frequency and just kind of reverberating and a 0 point kind of shit.
Well, I've heard that about the buildings in Mexico, that there was apparently a courtyard that they knew so much about sound reverberation that they could yell at these pillars and it came back sounding like a bird.
Holy shit.
And there's fucking the temples in India, I think, have these weird pillars that they've got documentation that the armies that took over in like 1800s broke them because these pillars, you can hit them. They're stone pillars.
Yeah. And
they make a tune, like a tuning fork.
Yeah?
Yeah. And like so much so that there's documentation that these armies, when they got there, fucking cut them open because they were like, okay, what the fuck are we going to find inside? And it was just a stone pillar.
That's fucking weird.
So it's back on I mean,
like those pillars were constructed to amplify a natural frequency.
It's like architectural resonance or something. So
crazy,
it's there. I mean, there is basis for what you're talking about. With wow, till you mentioned that fucking 3-letter word, man.
What?
Elf.
They say whether you believe in elves or not.
Like
you can drop.
You could tell me the most logical fucking story about how they built the pyramids, and at the end of it, just mentioned where, and then not even like directly involved, but like, and then we dropped the last stone in place, and in the distance, I could see an elf. I'd be like, this motherfucker's full of shit.
Exactly. I do not fucking believe in elves or gnomes. Shit, I don't even believe in dwarfs, man. You ain't nothing different, man. Shit. I don't believe in all that, you know?
That's politically insensitive. I like to, as the do, I like to go ahead and cover the area that, Rumpy just exposed us to. There are dwarves.
Legally, yes, that's right.
They are not mythical creatures.
This is right.
Continue on your way. Elf man.
I don't believe in elves. And like all that fairy shit.
So what, you think they were just described as elves or what?
No. I think that when you take this shit that like there's some like galactic consciousness that like these are the things that are put before you to kind of help bring you along. And like me personally, I'd be like, a fucking elf? Really? Shit. I don't like elves, Give me a fucking... Give me Taz, or from Looney Tunes, I say, give me something. I don't like elves. I've never been about that fucking Renaissance festival. I went to a Renaissance festival and I had a blast.
So what you're saying is, instead of being a fictional character or some kind of real manifestation, that there might be things in human folklore that are strictly from hallucinations.
And it's not well, I guess it's hallucinating, but I believe DMT because it naturally cures.
Have you ever heard?
It occurs in your pineal gland.
Have you ever heard the Stoned Ape Theory? I think Joe Rogan has a guy that talks about it, and they talk about the apes, like Homo habilis or prior to that, fucking walking along and eating anything that they saw. So what are they going to eat? Fucking transcendental mushrooms, man. And
that started enlarging their brain capacity, and
their hallucinations became the first thoughts, I guess.
That's crazy.
Like,
that's cool.
Imagine how trippy you and me would get with how much we know.
I can't even imagine like an animal eating a mushroom and being like, yeah, like what they do, you know?
Well, imagine they could have been fucking sitting on the savannah, fucking eating some shrooms, and the dude pops up and he's like, "Holy shit, y'all! 4 wheels, 2 axles, and a fucking engine to drive the axles."
I can imagine like those monkeys or whatever taking the mushrooms and be like, "Pop, pop, pop," and they're all tripped out, and then they kind of like look at each other and sync up, and they kind of start mimicking or moving and doing gestures, and it's like, I know what you're fucking saying, dog. And he's like, yeah, he pointed this right here. And he points at like a rock, and the Mustang pops out of that bush, man.
It's a fucking horse sitting up in a tree.
You don't know about that Mustang. The monkey starts like signing like different shit, like, and they build their language, and then the Mustang fucking pops up, and it's like,
you ruined everything, and you brought that horse into the equation, man.
Dude,
people are listening to what you're saying, man. All of a sudden, there's a horse in a tree.
Guys, every day of my life, there's a Mustang locked and loaded, ready to go. I gotta hold that motherfucker back. It's one of my demons.
So, that was hilarious, man. This fucking Mustang.
Dude, I wasn't even thinking about a Mustang. I'm seriously...
It was in there, man.
I'm seriously, like, I guess I'm that buzzed because this is my 3rd beer, and I never drink third beers when I come over here, man. Just make me a promise. Let me have 4 beers before you bring me my 5th.
Nah, man. You're gonna have to do the Scandinavian thing, man. You have to just start eating food to counteract it, man. I'm bringing a loaf of bread.
Fucking Mustang, man.
Some pea soup.
I hate Mustang, the car.
This guy's talking about his horse in a tree over here. But the important thing is, he was in a tree, man.
Oh, how do you fucking come back from a fucking random Mustang sighting?
That's like a professor farting in the class, man. You just...
Seriously, Native Americans never had... Oh, no, we should go back to the Native Americans. Because we always go back to the past. And we got to wrap it up, because I'm at the edge of this. After that Mustang shit, we got to wrap up the end, man.
What time is it?
It's like 55, 56. Fuck, I got to get going here in 4 minutes, all right? So, future or present? What are we going to talk about in the future or present to wrap it up with? And it can't be super long, because we got 4 minutes. Bing! Nice.
I don't know what's going on in the present. Russians. Cold War still going on.
Kobe's still dead.
Yeah.
They had to do the Kobe Memorial today.
I was thinking about that before when you were like, what are we talking about? And I was like, well, I should talk about Kobe, but I wanted to keep it light.
I know.
But yeah, they're doing the thing with his daughter too. What you doing now?
I put the origami trash
Can, man.
in an empty can.
Oh, dude, have you ever heard of the group Bauhaus?
How's it spelled?
Bauhaus.
No.
It's funny because I brought up Joy Division, which is an old group.
Yeah.
And Bauhaus is an old group.
Okay.
And they're just cool, man. It's fucking like it's where they got the idea of like goth and shit and like rock and synth, and it's not goth, it's
like dark synth.
It's this weird song. Like the song I got hooked on was She's in Parties. She's in Parties.
Okay.
And it's just this fucking like kind of dark synth going on, like bum 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 bum. And then this kind of dude with like a weird nasally voice is like, she's in parties.
She's in parties.
In the can.
In the can.
She's in parties. And it's fucking cool, dude. Like it. How did it? Here we go.
She's in parties. In the can.
There's Rumpy's remix.
You can find it live on iTunes, baby.
This is funny, dude. You're gonna freak yourself out because you've never heard that song, and that was the Rumpy remix of "She's in Parties." Okay, you're gonna listen to the song and freak out about how similar it sounded to what you were making. Yeah,
You're like, when I did it, you're all, what?
well, it's such a weird, like, basic 80s, like,
I felt
thing.
it in the moment that I did it.
Well,
though.
you know why? Because apparently they're one of, like, the bass groups that influenced a lot of, like, the 80s sound. So the 80s sound that was in your head when you heard that
came from them.
You synced straight back to the source.
That's the derivative, baby. You said, what are they called? Bauhaus.
Bauhaus? It sounds
Yeah, the Bauhaus.
sounds like a German fucking...
But it's not?
No, what do you mean? It's not what?
They're not German?
I don't know.
Are they from Germany?
I don't know. They sing in English. So I don't know where they're from. Bauhaus. She's in parties.
Vroom vroom party starter.
Dude, I remember watching it was the Fighting Hellfish episode of The Simpsons.
Okay.
And at the very end of it, like, it's all about, like, some paintings that were stolen in World War II. And at the very end of it, like, some German kid shows up because they belong to his family, you know. He puts them in the back of his convertible and he drives off, but he turns up the music and it's all like, and he's like, see you guys later. And that's every German voice I've ever heard since then, dude. It was probably Hank Azaria.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
See you guys later. We'll jump out with the tunes, yeah.
What is that?
What? I don't know. But I know what you're talking about.
Dude, I think you just did an exact impersonation.
Holy fuck, I'm right on it, man.
Dude, that's 2 for 2, man.
Man, I'm betting 2,000. You ain't never heard of that. I was doing the vroom vroom party starter. Brah, stick 'em, stick 'em. Sorry, that's not even related. Okay. 701.
Some random ass shit.
You gotta take pictures of that and your measuring stick with the map. This is how we did this here.
I'm at the back of the studio.
He's turning on the magical waterfall that we use for feng shui at the end of our sessions here. Just so we close it out in style. So we're centered, focused, and drive it out, or drive it home with that Mustang, baby.
Drive it out?
Drive it out with that I don't know. I said drive it. I said drive it home.
But you said drive it out?
Dude, I'm fucking Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, alright, hold on. Let me get your reaction when you fucking drive it out, dude.
Don't tell me.
It's weird fucking, it's like little change, like that could have become a saying. That's how some sayings probably happen.
Drive it out or drive it out.
Drive it out, dude. Let me get your reaction.
I gotta take a picture of this too, right here. This is what I'm looking at.
What is this? Fucking 8,000 to 3,000 BC. Look at that.
8,000 to 3.
Cave paintings.
So this is about the time that some guys started.
We're looking at that book we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, no, when I went, I'm putting the picture up. So what I'm thinking about this, first off, me being buzzed.
Look at the fucking dimension on those drafts.
That is cool.
Look at how they're like.
I can see they're engraved and ingrained, and then this one is just drawn. You said 8 to 3000 BC.
Yeah.
I guess these are the motherfuckers that were gearing up to build the temple, or the pyramids. I mean,
It's in the Sahara. It's right to the left of Egypt.
so if it wasn't the people, like maybe some people were like, they were like, yeah, we don't want your help building the pyramid. Get out of here, man. And like they went and lived in some caves and started drawing this shit. Because they were gearing up. But if it's like 8,000 BC, then it's like, whoa. That's kind of crazier, you know?
Well, Robert Schoch thinks the Sphinx may have been built between 10,000 and 15,000 years ago.
Yeah, I believe him. Because he's talking about water weathering and erosion or whatever. Like rainfall. So they said was like, it was hey, no, I got to take pictures of those. Leave it open so don't forget.
It's already closed, motherfucker.
All right. He's all throwing his hands up like what?
Telling him what? Sometimes a book closes.
No, I gotta take pictures for reference when I put this one together.
I know.
What's that snake on the back, man?
I don't know. It's a
Symbolic.
wild one. You can take a picture of the front of the book and
It's
put it
a
on
crazy snake, man.
there. And then people can see what book it is. They can reference it. It's a
Word.
Robert Shaw,
No.
Sphinx being old.
Yeah,
What are we
that
going
was
to talk
all.
about in the future, man?
We still gotta have that conversation about, because you don't believe. I don't believe. You know what I was thinking? We were talking about the multi-universe.
I don't.
The
I don't know that
Dogans
shit
say
at
that it's
all.
multiverse, that there's 7 pairs, 14 total of each pairs of material and non-material. I like that idea. It really has spoken to me. But this whole time what I've believed in
You're
is
talking
not
about matter and antimatter.
like a physical and not non-physical, yeah.
Yeah,
I guess, yeah.
that's
Yeah.
herring. That,
I think it's kind of like a yin and a yang.
but what in the universe? Okay, like you can hear about the theory, and you can and get along with that, and in your head, basically in your head.
Mm-hmm.
But what do your feet find? Like, what do you find in the universe right now that would make you, that lends you to that? You know, like,
I don't want to sound corny because I'm not trying to preach any far out psychedelic stupid shit.
right.
But I've had some pretty crazy things happening. It's like I treat my body better. Like I'm, sleeping better, just trying to stay hydrated and just kind of, rest is the biggest thing. But then like I'll take my lion's mane with a good meal and stuff. And then like when everything, like all my body needs is good, then I go in the shower and I kind of do my good thinking and my meditation. And it's like taking that lion's mane. They were saying like these old Buddhist monks, they call it a different thing, but it's still the same mushroom that they use in their tea that they'd use to heighten their focus during meditation. And when I had that profound experience I told you about in the first place, it was lion's mane that kind of did it.
Berserker.
Berserker.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Berserkers because they would fucking, in Viking mythology, the warriors on the front line, they would take mushroom.
Yeah.
And they would be so jacked up,
Yeah.
they were biting their shield.
Yeah. Well, this
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
that. This
yeah.
is just like a calmer kind of thing that just helps you mentally focus.
Yeah.
So when I've done that and I've meditated, I haven't wanted to talk about it because I'm still trying to understand it. Like I'm experiencing stuff, like, and I'm trying my hardest to get my fucking subconscious ego or whatever just out of it, and I'm fighting to do that the whole time. But still, I'm seeing weird shit. I'm being kind of shown. Like, I had a meditation. This is a whole nother fucking conversation because I got to get going. But in the vision, hear me out.
You know, maybe.
Hear me out real quick because this is crazy. It showed me going back in reverse, our universe going reverse back to the Big Bang, and before the Big Bang, it showed me kind of like a state before that. And at that time, I only told Nikki this, my wife, y'all. I'm not telling anyone this because I'm not trying to do shit, and she didn't even want me to put this on the podcast. But when it transitioned to like seeing stuff before the Big Bang, like I was in
to Big Ann.
I was in a deep state of like meditation. I'm not trying to sound like I'm Buddha, man. I'm Siddhartha. No shit like that. I'm just like focusing with that lion's mane, meditating. It went pre-Big Bang. Before the Big Bang, I saw a couple lines of like glyphs go by. Pow! I was like, okay, that's fucking crazy. That's probably my mind like making that shit up. But then it was trying to show me like before the Big Bang.
Motherfucker's belt.
It showed me like our universe is like more condensed. Big Bang, the universe was bigger, crudely put together, and like there was like time, consciousness, space, dimensions. But then there's like all these other fucking like elements or forces or whatever the fuck you call them, and they had symbols, but they were like glyphs, but they were smashed, and because they were flat and they were also wider. And I've never seen any shit like that. It was almost like when you see in space, like, you know, a bunch of galaxies, you know, you zoom way out and you see a bunch of weird looking galaxies all together, you know?
Yeah.
It kind of seemed like that, but it was like these were like symbols of like, as I understood it, like elements or forces of nature or whatever. That post Big Bang, a lot of them died out, and it was like weird shit, man. Weird, crazy shit. So stuff like that kind of gives me a feeling of there is a connection to a non-material somewhat.
Well,
I still don't understand it fully, though.
So wait, I mean,
Do you meditate?
I don't. I mean, I space out. I would say I more space out than.
Do you ever space out closing your eyes though?
Oh yeah, also. So, I mean, like
because I never used to call it meditating.
I don't do meditation in that. I don't do a specific.
I don't do it. I don't do that shit either.
To get me into a.
Exactly. I'm right there with you, man. I don't do it like that. I never used to call it meditation.
What I thought about was, it's just like you reflecting.
Yeah.
You know, but you've been doing that your whole life. But there's an element that changes.
Dude, I was about to say element.
It's.
I was thinking element when you said that.
I was about to say hydrogen.
I was about to say element.
Goddamn lithium.
I was about to say there's an element to it.
It's almost like you're aging. Like, you know, but your age, it's not aging, it's, there's a fucking line from fucking Incubus, which I'm sure he's quoting somebody, but he's like, perspective turns a blizzard to a breeze, or something like that.
Yeah, I get you.
If you're in the blizzard, it's like a blizzard, but if you're up above it, it's a breeze.
Sure.
So I would say, perhaps, that you're changing, the fact that you're getting constantly new information, you're still looking at yourself like you've always done, but you're just boom, 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 boom. It's a different you, every you that's looking back. So you're changing what you look back on, and what you look back on expands.
Sure.
Or shrinks.
Sure.
So there's all this.
It's all over the place for sure, man.
It's weird.
It's hard to fucking come.
I think that's
like,
what this podcast is about. It's weird being human.
Let me tell you, because I gotta wrap it up and we gotta go. So this will be to be contender, all right?
Don't you ever say that again.
I said it in the last one.
That's politically incorrect.
In this last one,
I got you to say it.
In this last one, I drew it. I put it down. And I'll take a picture of it for this podcast because I don't mean to actually put this on the podcast. I drew it for my own shit after my meditation, but I was kind of like I was seeing if you separate yourself like from time, like that point in time you jump out and you kind of like at a neutral perspective, and you can fast forward or rewind time. That it doesn't become you're exactly what you're talking about, perspective. When you're in the moment, every decision is random. But if you can somehow get to that point, not that you need to, where you're observing time as a non-variable, you can speed up and fast forward or rewind, then that randomized decision you make is actually predetermined and turns into fate. So it's like random and fate at the same time, but it depends on your perspective, if you can reach some ultimate perspective to view time from that perspective. But the thing it was showing me is like if you reach that ultimate where you're sitting as a third party and you're looking at the whole universe or however it is, and you can see time as linear and you can go backwards and forward, that you think you're neutral to it. You can fast forward and rewind it, and that's fine. You're not aging. You're neutral to time. But the effects in those decisions that are made throughout the universe or whatever it is that you're fast forwarding and rewinding affect you. as you are watching, as you think it's a neutral party, you're neutral to time, but the effects that are going on that you're speeding up and rewinding still affect you as an observer. And I was like, whoa. I was like, you know, and I drew it out, like, and it's not necessarily that if you rewind that time that you just can undo those changes or whatever. And I was like, man, we're getting fucking far out there. Like, I'm getting crazy, like.
So you're talking about the position of the self?
I'm talking about in that position, it's like you can observe the universe and you can observe and speed up time, but you'd be in some third party position looking at everything as, you know. But the thing, what I was kind of realizing or being told is that if you're in that position and you can jump forward or back or whatever, you're not neutral 100%. You're neutral to time, but you're not neutral to the effects of those decisions and those times that are being made that you're speeding up and rewinding. It's like it'll affect you as a neutral observer. That
time doesn't. I mean,
It's
time
weird.
fucks with us, but it doesn't do it intentionally.
Yeah.
Kind of. There's.
No, I gotta get
It
going.
shouldn't.
We gotta get going here. This is a whole. We still need to talk about multi-universe, multi-dimensional, and this is still going into that. So we're kind of like building steam for all of our, you know, shit. We're blowing up, man, for all of our viewers, because we're gonna jump into the fucking deep end, either the next one or the next one after. I guarantee you, because me and you, we know it. It's building without us knowing. This subject is building with different elements to it that we're going to have a super deep conversation. But we do have to end it here because I got a boogie. Big time I got a boogie.
People are listening. Don't do it.
No, I got to. I can't have my wife kill me. But we're blowing up. Wesley Snipes. Not Wesley Snipes. You know, we're trying to sign him. Man, I'm too...
LDP.
What?
Big old Lou.
LDP's in the works. Tom Hanks is in the works.
All right, I just want to point out...
I still haven't seen Wesley Snipes.
I just want to point out Lou Diamond Phillips's middle name is Diamond, man.
Yeah.
It's Diamond.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, man.
That's really cool, man.
All right. Just want to bring that up, man. Nicotine Nut Rage just got me going.
I was going to say, we blowing up. Our subscriber list is jumping up. We're already at like 21 subscribers now. You know, shit, man. For the first 50 subscribers, when we make it, we're doing a party at the International Space Station with Elon Musk. We're going to be popping bottles at 0G. For the first 100 subscribers, later on, we're going to be doing a party with Lil Wayne.
Free hats.
Yeah, get your merch, baby.
Sized hats. It's going to say Lil Wayne. He's going to autograph each one. Maybe.
Yep.
I don't know. It's going to have the opportunity. It's going to say Lil Wayne, Elon Musk.
We blowing up. Oh, damn, I'm popping bottles, spilling drinks. Eddie Murphy was here earlier, popping Cristal.
I don't know if everybody heard that clink clink, but that was a classic rumpy rump around.
Yep.
He'll hit one thing. It'll be a glass on the floor. That glass will fall and spill water onto an electric socket. knocks over a beer on the table, knocks over a book on the shelf. It's a whole thing.
It fucking happens, man.
It'll happen again.
Yeah.
It'll happen from this point on, so now people understand it.
I did that same thing, and fire was involved, and it set a cat's tail on fire. And we got to jump out with this, because we're going to jump in the deep end next time. I want to say that cats' tails are flammable. Don't try it out. One time, me and my buddies were smoking, and our cat Nacho jumped up in the middle of everything, and the flame hit his tail, and the flame went right up his tail. And he ran off, and Nacho ran down the street and freaked out, and there was like smoke lingering from where he ran off. So cats' tails are flammable. The more you know.
Let me take it back. I don't believe that story for a second.
It's true. I guarantee. I promise you.
Let me take it. Let me reunite the back and the front, though. That I was one of the videos I was watching on the Olmecs. The guy got to the. He was bullshit. He was talking like he knew something about the Olmecs. He basically said the same shit everybody knows, and that we don't know anything. And he was talking about the big heads, and that everybody thinks the flattened nose is like an Africanized thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, I don't believe that. I'm different." And he was like, "I think it was a feline thing." And he was like, the upturned lips, the kind of grimace lips
Sure.
they have,
Yeah.
and the broad nose, that was somehow the Olmecs worshiping like the Jaguar who has a broad nose.
Dude.
And
You believe that or no?
Fuck no. It sounds cool, but if you look at a Jaguar face,
He's just a dickhead trying to be original.
he's like nah, yeah.
I think
It's because it's a nacho. It's the sour cream is the
dude.
It's bullshit.
We took the kids, and we got to end it on this. I'm serious. We took the kids to the zoo this past weekend.
Yeah.
Saw a fucking jaguar because the last time it wasn't there, but it was there this fucking time.
Did you shoot a poison tipped dart at it?
No. Dude, it was fucking awesome, dude. Breathtaking. I think jaguar. I'll put the video right now. Pow! I think jaguars are my favorite, like even over tigers and white tigers and lions.
One of the videos I was watching on, it's called Ancient History Lovers, I think is the channel.
Yeah.
And they were talking about, I think it was Tenochtitlan.
Yeah.
Had a fucking zoo.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And
Montezuma put a zoo together. He had a crazy ass fucking
They
zoo.
had birds of prey. They had wild cats. And
They had everything.
The idea of a zoo in Europe and the East and the West in the old world didn't come along till way the fuck along.
Yeah.
But the fucking Aztecs were rocking a full-bred zoo of wild jungle Amazon fucking creatures.
Can you imagine that fucking zoo?
The conquistadors did not like it. Apparently, you can go to that fucking channel I said, and it references the conquistadors walking into the cat house where they kept all the big cats.
Yeah.
And they would feed them limbs, like of humans and stuff. And the conquistadors said, like, they described it as walking into hell. So,
fuck those conquistadors.
take your point of view, man.
They should have been like, look at these fucking jaguars.
Yeah, I would have been
man.
like, holy shit.
Let's beef them up. Let's train them. Let's fucking
Take
them back to Spain.
And also the conquistadors had never seen a jaguar, so they thought everything was a lion.
Dude, they're stupid AF. They
Fucking-
bulldoze those pyramids. Fuck you, conquistadors. I hate your guts.
Back off, man.
If I ever fucking see a conquistador in the streets,
I'm gonna knock that stupid metal helmet off his head. I'm gonna beat that ass.
you're fucking dead.
You hear me?
All right, we out.